everyone. Welcome to Webinars that Inspire with me, Aditi Nirvan. And after a short break in the month of November, I'm back with the last of the series for the month of November. And today's topic is creating abundance. It's a very interesting topic because it's been a very sought after topic and it's often been misinterpreted and misrepresented, that very few people have actually got the true essence of what abundance means and what creating abundance really means. Most people confuse abundance with perhaps making money or having money. But let's kind of put it this way, that if you do have money, there are chances that you may feel abundant, but it isn't mandatory. Um, you can have money and feel abundant. You can have money and not feel abundant. Uh, I've had instances in my life that, where although I've had money and have felt abundant, I've had money, I've not felt abundant. Then I've not had money and also felt abundant and not abundant. So it really isn't as connected as we think it is. Um, there are times that abundance is filled in our lives, is also felt through maybe the quality of the kind of relationships that we have with our family and friends, whether we have that special love in our life or not, whether we get access to good, great quality food and air and exercise. It also, abundance can also be a lot of choice, where we have a lot of choice in our life. If you say, for example, grew up in a very conservative, traditional, inflexible home, you might not have that sense of abundance as much because you were not given the freedom, not given the choice from a very young age. Um, Abundance can also mean travel opportunities or career success, career growth. It can mean a lot of different things to a lot of people. But most of the time, what tends to happen is with abundance, this is actually it's a state of being. Abundance is a state of being. True abundance is a sense of having, and really that's it. There isn't anything else. um, there is nothing before it and there's nothing after it. So it's a causeless sense of having in your life. uh, it's a sense of whether you have or you don't have. What it is that you have or don't have doesn't have to be defined. um, you can fill up your life with what I call the manifestations of abundance. Uh, but abundance by itself is not measurable. The manifestations of abundance are absolutely measurable. Like, for example, you can say, I have an X amount of money, which is more than I thought, or an X amount of money, which is less than what I thought. And that's measurable. Money is just a manifestation of abundance. But abundance by itself, that quality or that state, is not measurable because it's very simple. It's either that you have it or you don't have it. It's kind of like, when you're pregnant, you either are pregnant or you're not pregnant. There is nothing in between. There is no maybe pregnant or could be pregnant. In the same manner, that sense of have or not have is something either you have or you don't have. It's as simple as that. So a sense of abundance is something that you are actually born with and you die with. And the interesting part is that even if you feel you don't have abundance or you don't have that sense of abundance, you actually still have it. Just by the nature of having life and breath and living, you actually are abundant already. So now the question kind of lies whether you're in your head or you're actually experiencing what that abundance is. I mean, honestly, look at the planet that we live on. It's rich. Okay. There is no other planet known to us, either in our solar system or beyond it, that offers the kind of bounty that Earth offers. Um, Everything, every aspect of us is taken care of, from the most grossest, biggest level of a full body mechanism and its function and all of that, right down to, the tiny bacteria that live in your gut that help you digest food. Everything is offered up for you. Everything is there on a platter for you. uh, everything is for you, everything is designed for you to exist and to live, and that is actually abundance. Life itself is abundance. So the access from where we all have life, we all live in this body, and each of us has access to life. We have access to breath, we have access to energies, and all of this can be brought together to create and manifest things that give us a further sense of abundance, or give us a further, or cement that sense of abundance that we may be having within us. And that abundant manifestation can be measurable. Like, for example, we can create a business and you contribute to people through that business, and you also make money out of it. So it's measurable. You can have love, which ends up in a marriage. You have children, you have a family, you have a home. Again, is marriage measurable. You have nourishment. So your health is a measure of that abundance. Your career is a measure of that abundance. So all these are the measurable manifestations of abundance. But these things by itself are not abundance. They are not, if you just take them away and keep them alone, standing alone by themselves, they are not a measure of abundance, or they're not abundant by themselves. They are created from a sense of having it, which is why when you don't have these manifestations in a certain kind of a proportion that you think you need to have in your head, you start to feel lack, meaning I don't have enough money, therefore I feel lack. I don't have enough love, I don't have enough connections, therefore I feel lack. And lack is the opposite of abundance. Therefore, in short, life equals abundance, but we are trained to see that lack and put our attention on that lack, because we are constantly made to feel like we perhaps don't have enough. Um, it's funny because when we start to focus and keep our attention on the simple, what I call the root of everything, you'll find that when the focus is on the root and the tree grows, the fruit, the flowers automatically kind of fall into your lap. Because when you start to acknowledge the root of everything, and you start to become grateful for it, that's when abundance actually falls into your lap. So, how can you actually start to have a sense of abundance? Because, like I said earlier, you are already abundant. There's no question about it. Even when you're not believing that you are abundant, you still are abundant. And abundance isn't what you think it is. We have taken that state of being and we have shrunk it to a particular item in our life, which is actually a mistake, because that's the manifestation of abundance. So I hope it's kind of clear by now. So, how can you have that sense of abundance? So, what we are doing is we're kind of resting back, going back a few more steps as to where this money came from, where this sense of love came from, where this sense of charity came from, or generosity came from. All of those qualities, where do they come from? They come from that sense of abundance. But if you feel more of a sense of lack, then it is actually you questioning your ability to create with the universe. The thing is that the potential is there, your raw material is there, the connection is there, the connection to all life is there, the life energy is there, and it can be used at any time you need to use it. It's an all lifetime access that doesn't actually diminish till the day you die. And none of us sitting right here now are aware of what happens to us when we are dead, because we've only heard things from people. We've heard their truths, but we've not experienced it ourselves in this moment. So we're not going to go there. So let me limit you feeling abundant to being in this body while it's alive. And can abundance be created? Yes, its manifestations can be created. Can abundance by itself be created? No. Why? Because it exists whether you believe it or not. Your belief in it doesn't make a difference to its existence. It's not exactly looking for your permission to exist in the first place. So you were born with it, like I said, and you will die with it. So you may as well believe that you are it, because it's the truth anyway. So why do you want to struggle with whether you are or you're not? You just are. So why don't you take that as a gospel truth and move ahead? So what do you then need to put your energy on, and creative capacity on, and its manifestations, and create its manifestations? Why do you need to do all of that? Why do you need to create a business and create money? Why do you need to create great relationships? Why do you need to create a healthy body or travel opportunities or freedom or choice? Why do you need to create all of it? Very simply because abundance wants to have fun. You want to have fun. um, you are here on this planet to experience creative play. There is no big agenda other than that. Okay, it's life is actually pretty simple. It's meant to be lived, it's meant to be created, it's meant to be played, and then you go back quietly. Why? Well, just like that. You emerged from chaos, and you came here and you use the energy of chaos, and you create things in your life. And when you're dead, you go back into chaos, and chaos is one of the nature or characteristics of the energy of abundance. Very simply because you actually, in abundance, there are multiple things happening at multiple levels across multiple time, and it's all across in one moment. This is a very different kind of a, I guess it's a concept, which I'm not going to get into in a lot of detail right now, but we will talk about it a little further. Um, so, chaos is an energy that you emerge from, and you use the same energy of chaos to create. So, let me give you an example. Say for example, something has fallen apart in your life, and you're very confused. You're all muddled up. Things are not the way they used to be once upon a time, and you want to know how to go ahead. You're trying to make sense out of it. So this is you gotten thrown into the energy of chaos. The interesting part about chaos is that it actually is the energy of creation. Unless you go into chaos, you will not know what it is that you desire to create next. And this doesn't necessarily have to be at a point when things are falling apart. They can also be at a point when you want to create a major change in your life or a major shift in your life. And you know that you're moving from the first to the second gear, or the second to the third, or the fourth gear. And you want to know that you want to propel ahead very creatively, and you want to create things in your life, bring them together. And you can do all of that. You can literally like pull and tug at streams of various energies in your life, only when you have that sense of abundance within. So chaos is a wonderful energy to step into because it's the nature of abundance. You're actually closest to home energy in that sense. It's the energy. And if you're feeling chaotic, it's actually fantastic, because when people tell me that, oh my god, my life is a mess, I can't make sense of it, things are, this is how they were and this is how they need to be, and that whole story that goes on in our heads when we are in that kind of chaos, it's actually the most juiciest moment of your life, because you have so much available to you to choose from. It's like standing in front of a buffet. You can take your pick in that moment. If you can find yourself to be a little more steady and a little more centered and grounded in that moment, you will find you have a lot to play with. And that is abundance. Okay, so when you're at your worst seemingly, you're actually getting, there are seeds of something new that are getting planted in that moment. And I know that this is something very, very different probably than what you guys have heard before, but this is my sense of it. And this is what I have been playing with for the last few years whenever I have created something. So, chaos is a characteristic of abundance, and you're plugged into this, you're tapped into this, you are this. So, why not have fun with it? But what we tend to do is we tend to rather listen to broken records of crazy thought patterns that we've been having in our head that tells us that we're anything less than this piece of the universe. These crazy thoughts in your head are going to tell you a lot of contradictory stories about you, why you lack, why you have enough proof that you should feel lack, and a whole lot of other stuff. But there is one voice within all of these voices, which is actually the quietest. It's a voice that actually doesn't even speak so much. It's a voice of knowing, um, that actually lets you feel or get a sense of how powerful you are, how potent you are, and how creative you actually are. But you're so busy listening to the voices of lack in your head that you bought into as yours. And the interesting part is that none of these voices of lack are even yours in the first place. These are the voices that were around you when you were born, and they are the voices of your loved ones, the ones who raised you, the ones who have actually loved you the most. And it's no fault of theirs because they didn't know that these were the voices of lack that they were listening to also in their own heads. But you were taught to listen to them because they are older than you, they are more experienced than you, and you took that as real. You didn't discern, you didn't distinguish that, oh, these are the voices of lack, but I actually come from abundance. Therefore, I'm going to choose not to believe in them. If you had that, you would be a very different person today. So you couldn't distinguish. And what happened is you took on everybody else's form of thinking of lack. Okay. And now what happens is years later, when you don't want to listen to those voices anymore, you feel guilty. You feel guilty because you feel that you don't belong to those people if you don't think like them. If you start thinking very radically differently and you start feeling more abundant and you start choosing things from that space of abundance, and that chaos energy isn't a bad energy anymore, that you can actually have a lot of fun with it, you become this radical weirdo in people's lives, and you're not quite sure whether you'll be accepted and appreciated and loved by those people anymore. So it's always easier and more comfortable to be shrunk and quiet and limited and listening to the voices of lack. So you have a choice actually at this point. You know, which voice do you want to listen to guilt free? And that I would always encourage you to listen to the quietest one that doesn't really talk much. It's the voice of knowing, and you have to know whether you can trust it or not. My only pitch to you at this point as to why you could trust it simply is because all other voices of lack haven't really got you anywhere. You might as well listen to this one now because this is the one that will bring you the radical change that you've been looking for. So, back to abundance in a sense. Abundance is also the state of being that sets into motion all other experiences that you will have as a human being here on earth. If you feel abundant, your entire being's attention will shift deeply and dramatically. You will shift actually into a very different level of being and living. And the funny part is, it won't look anything phenomenal on the outside. So it's not going to be like, oh, you're going to be jet setting in a private plane and living in luxury and, you know, all of that. Although you could be up for that because it's fun, but it's not actually what you're seeking. What happens in the shift in yourself when you start to be more abundant is that abundance's best friend, BFF, comes into your life, and that's gratitude. You'll often find that feeling abundant and feeling gratitude are very, very similar. They're almost like twins. Uh, there's a whole lot of feeling of sincere gratitude. And if your prayers lately, for example, are more of thank yous than asks, then you're kind of, I would say, already plugged in. Okay. So gratitude is one major indicator of whether you are feeling abundant or not in your life. Interestingly, feeling lack creates more of lack. Feeling abundant also creates more of abundance. And moving from that sense of abundance, moving from that sense of lack to feeling abundance actually takes just a minute. uh, all it requires is for you to go to the root of something and start to feel gratitude for it. Start to notice the root level stuff, like I said before. So let's maybe apply this to a couple of examples. Say you're in a relationship with somebody. You have moments of compatibility with them and moments of war with them, and you have, you know, a list of complaints in your head about the other. You would love for the other to do or say things for you that they perhaps haven't, and you feel lack of love for them at times, very often. One second. I'm sorry, something else has started in between. Okay, so you're in this relationship, and there are times where you're at war with the person. You have a list in your head of what you would love for them to say for you, to do for you, but they don't. You know, they're having their kind of their own life or whatever, and you feel a lack of love. You feel a lack of connection with the person, and you start to feel lack in general. So how do you change this feeling of lack to feeling abundant? So go to the root. Okay, start to recall and remember as much as you can why you chose to be with the person in the first place, everything about them that drew you to them. Now, you may feel that those qualities don't exist in a person, but there are always certain inherent qualities that every person has throughout their entire life that makes them them. So focus on those qualities, because those will be buried somewhere deep down inside, and it will be buried somewhere under, life's thousand stressors, but they will be there. Recall those qualities and perhaps even talk to them about it if you feel like it. uh, these are the qualities that helped you become who you are today. Relationships are so key to growth. um, Start to remember the stories around those qualities. What did they do for you? What did they say to you that allowed you to become who you are today? Because the mind, the quality of the mind is that it is never, ever, ever, ever happy with what it has. The quality of the mind itself is in lack, but you as a being are abundant, and that's the difference. So, what this exercise will get you to do is it'll get you out of your head and it'll get you back into your heart or into your gut space, and those are more connected to who you are as a being. So what I would like for you to do is, whenever you feel a sense of lack, just rest for a while, and go deeper into who you are as a person, go deeper into where that root of gratitude is, and start to experience that through all the stories that you remember, through all the experiences that you remember that you've had with this person, or at whatever points of time in your life. Yeah. How much you've learned from each other, and in spite of a list at times in your head, how much you actually love and cherish them enough to still want to be there with them every single day. And you forget that because you've again bought into the stories of lack that your head is constantly reminding you about. So when you start to do this as a regular practice, as a regular exercise, please remember not to expect anything from the other person. And I genuinely mean nothing, because you're not doing this for them, you're doing this for you. This is your job. To give love and to give gratitude is your job, and you're doing it so that you can reconnect with the abundance within. So stay focused to the root of it. The why are you together is the root of it. The connection between you both, what brought you together, and what emotions and connections keep you together. So let's take another example. We could take the example of money. It's probably one of the easiest manifestations of abundance to feel lack with. When you don't have enough bills to pay, for example, when you see the bank balance kind of dwindling and you have no fees coming in. Uh, Seema, can you mute yourself, please? Okay, thank you. So when you don't have enough to pay the bills and you see your bank balance dwindling, numbers can really, really be a killjoy, or they can actually give you a lot of joy. It's hard to experience abundance when there isn't enough money in your world, but you actually still can. Go back to the root. Your creative capacity and your ability to actually create things in this world and earn money from it. So focus on your creative capacity and remember how easy it is for you to actually earn money. Now, here we go. What mistake we make is that we have a lot of conditions, we have a lot of speed breakers, we put a lot of hurdles and restrictions on how we're earning that money. We make it very difficult for us. Now, we're not questioning our capacity to earn, but we're questioning how we earn. So here's the difference, okay? It's simply the fact that you can actually earn money whenever you want to, okay? The only difference where we feel lack is because we put a lot of conditions as to no, I will not do these X number of jobs, and these are the only jobs I will do that make me the money. That is not about creating abundance. That's actually creating the hows and the whats. That's the manifestation part of it. What is prior to the manifestation part is the abundance, the fact that we can actually do it whenever we want to. The fact is, you can actually earn money unconditionally, as it is always available for you. Now, what you choose to do with it later on is totally up to you. So, what I want to tell you is that it is not true that you cannot earn and you cannot have the money. You're just choosing not to take it in that manner. You'd rather put 10 conditions and do it, which is perfectly fine. But then please don't make money the bad guy. Okay. Take responsibility for your choices, because you're the one who's choosing to put conditions and say, no, these are the only two, three kind of jobs that I want to do. So what you've done is there is all this available for you, and you've narrowed it down to just two, three choices. And I'm asking you to remember what is available for you. It's really as simple as that. That is where the sense of abundance is. The fact is that you can actually earn unconditionally. All right. But what you choose to do is earn conditionally, simply because that you think that that's going to make you a happier person. That's going to satisfy what your mind wants. And that's where we get stuck. Okay. There are all kinds of amazing jobs out there that you can earn from. There are brilliant billions of ideas that you can actually have, that you can earn from, and you've stopped looking, or you have stopped asking the right questions for yourself, and your attention is on lack. So you need to make that switch, and that's really how you make things easy for you. Another key to having sense of abundance is to have trust in yourself. This factor goes missing when you've been listening to all these other voices in your head, the voices of lack that you picked up from people around you when you were born and where you grew up. But if you do choose to spend at least one day in a week indulging in your own voice, completely guilt free, there will be a new trust that you will develop with yourself. And this self trust starts to take the responsibility for its choices, and it puts focus on what actually nourishes you and makes you grow. You will not think as much about feeling lack, because you will know there is always a lot available for you. You're just choosing not to go with it for XY reasons, and that's perfectly fine. Trust in you is the only one that you actually ever need to feel abundant again. That sense of having everything available for you all the time, anytime, within you and from you out into the world. You are that connected to that level of infinite wisdom, infinite awareness, infinite choice, infinite possibilities, and infinite creation. That kind of trust. So imagine starting to create your life from that level of trust. The more you trust you, the more you will feel abundant. And of course, the more you feel abundant, the greater the trust you will have in yourself. So it's an interesting divine circle that you will be in. Um, you will also start to connect with something much greater than you. You will know that there's a lot that actually comes through you, and you will start to trust that. Because in that, what happens is you start to converse with the universe in a more intimate manner. You have now acknowledged its existence backing you. You have started using it to create. You know it resides within you, and you are it. When you start to feel that sense that I am the universe itself, you'll actually never feel lack again. And I know that all of this sounds probably even, improbable. Um, but these are states of being that are very difficult to define if you've never tasted them. It's only when you've tasted these states, there is such peaceful, trustful living, that feeling lack at any point may just be like a random thought that crosses your head. You might feel it momentarily for something, but then it kind of just disappears into the chaos, because the, the origins of where you come from are so much more powerful than that one thought, that its energy really doesn't last that long. And last but not the least, in this particularly short webinar, use the manifestations of abundance to create a sense of abundance. If you create something in your life, start to give it away. Give more of love, give more of connection, give away more of anything that you wish to experience more of. I know it sounds chaotic, but that's the nature of abundance. It comes from chaos, it goes back into chaos. Give more to have more. It's really as simple as that. Rarely is abundance so much about receiving as it is about giving. Receiving is more of its best friend, which is gratitude. So there you go. That is the webinar for today. So do you guys have any questions? I have some people out here. Hello, everybody. Any questions with regards to this topic? No? All right. Cool. So I'm going to end the webinar here at this point, and thank you very much. Our next webinar will be in the month of December, the first week of December, and we are going to be talking more about, well, each week is going to be four different topics. The entire month's theme is called New Beginnings, and well, it's interesting four topics. So hopefully you guys can join me on that one. Seema, lovely this was, enjoyed thoroughly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know that this is probably something that you guys were not expecting, and you thought that it's probably a little bit more about money and things like that, but it's not something. For me, money isn't abundance. Money is just, well, it's money. It's an energy, it's a commodity, it's a medium that we use in this world. It's like food. It's necessary, and there's nothing good or nothing bad about it. It's just there, and would everybody like to have more of money? Of course you would. Why won't you? But does it make you feel abundant, or does it make you feel lack? Not really. It's never the definition for that. So I hope it was fun for you guys, and I'm sorry if you were expecting something else and I'm giving you something different. So yeah. So Madhu, spiritual realization well expressed in simple worldly way. Fantabulous. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are really awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys next Saturday to the last month of the year. I'm hoping that these four topics put an end to the misery that this year has been for a lot of people. It's kind of been the year of death. Yamraj and the Grim Reaper have been very, very busy. So I'm hoping that these four topics that I talk about in the month of December will awaken you to something greater, and that we can start the new year fresh from a different perspective, from within, deep within us, no matter what's happening on the outside. All right. So I will see you guys next Saturday. It was really lovely. Bye. Have a lovely week.